They call it love. But is it? They call it love. But is it? Maybe you felt it too. A connection that arrived like a storm of destiny and stayed like a silent earthquake inside your mind, not loud, not visible to others. Just a slow fracture of self. Some relationships don't break your world immediately. They break your internal gravity. You met someone who looked stable, spoke calmly, yet somehow left you feeling mentally scattered. You thought love had found you, but what really found you was something else. A bond that absorbs you instead of seeing you. Narcissists don't connect like ordinary people. They claim space in your emotional system, not through sincerity, but through reflection. You begin believing you must keep proving your worth, just to sustain the warmth that once came freely. But love that is earned on a shifting scale is not love. It's negotiation of presence. And the universe never asks you to negotiate your peace. It only asks you to notice when it's being traded away. The trap you didn't see. You didn't miss the red flags because you were blind. You missed them because they were coated in gold. The beginning felt powerful. Intensity. Admiration. A narrative where you suddenly became the protagonist of someone's emotional hunger. It wasn't your heart that failed to read the situation. It was your human generosity that misfiled it. Because empathy interprets intensity as meaning. Loyalty interprets pursuit as sincerity. And caretaking interprets dysfunction as temporary. But narcissistic bonds are not waves. They are patterns. You don't fall into them randomly. You lean into them because you feel uniquely perceived, selected, needed, seen. Until one day you realize you weren't being seen. You were being used as emotional architecture. Narcissists don't demand love. They demand reflection. And reflection is a prison when you don't control the mirror. But the moment you stop reflecting them, you begin recognizing yourself again. And recognition is the exit door they never asked you to see. The grandiose narcissist in the spotlight. The grandiose narcissist doesn't glow. They expect to glow because someone shines on them. Their posture looks like confidence carved from stone. But their foundation is applause. They speak in monologues, not dialogues. They love through hierarchy, not heart. When they say I love you, they mean, I love how you make me feel about me. Not how they feel about you. Their mind is never resting on connection. It's resting on influence. They want admiration in place of intimacy. Direction in place of depth. An emotional supply in place of reciprocity. And you don't collapse under their ego because they speak loudly, but because your softness doesn't compete. It yields. Yielding is not weakness. Yielding is different from resistance. But your spirit was not built to yield forever. It was built to question. And every narcissist fears the moment your questions become sharper than their spotlight demands. The vulnerable narcissist and the sympathy chain. This narcissist doesn't shout for admiration. They whisper for rescue. They make pain feel like confession, so you feel emotionally responsible for solving what they never solved in themselves. Their emotional narrative sounds like fragility, but it functions like leverage. They wear woundedness, like a badge you begin saluting silently. Their manipulation is not hidden in narcissistic grandiosity. It's hidden in narcissistic suffering. Their suffering is real sometimes, invented other times, useful always, because it binds you into emotional caregivership, without contract. They don't want healing. They want unquestioned support for their pain to remain central. Real love says, I see you. Narcissistic love says, I need you. And you begin carrying the difference in your nervous system long before you carry it in your logic. The malignant narcissist and the quiet warfare. This bond doesn't invite you into emotion. It pushes you out of certainty. They control not through noise, but through calm unpredictability. Affection given as reward, not presence. Distance used as punishment, not solitude. Rules that change without testimony. Warmth that vanishes to make you chase its ghost. This narcissist enjoys control more than closeness. And control is quieter than rage. Control is more elegant than violence. Control is executed through disorientation. You fight not the person. You fight your own confusion inside the bond. This is where narcissistic manipulation becomes spiritual erosion. You don't feel threatened outwardly. You feel fragmented inwardly. Fragmentation is silent warfare with no battlefield. Only casualties of the communal narcissist and the halo of debt. This narcissist wants to look like salvation, not superiority. They don't want to be seen as powerful. They want to be seen as morally elevated. They help generously when the audience is wide, and help conditionally when the audience is you. Their moral superiority isn't cruelty. It's accounting. I gave more. You appreciated less. I serve the world. You should serve me. This is not love, wearing generosity. This is generosity, administering love. Real love gives freely. Narcissistic love gives receipts. Receipts are not evidence of love. They are evidence of emotional investment expecting return. And the empath always pays first. Because empathy assumes love, vindication is automatic. But vindication is not love. It's emotional bureaucracy. The covert narcissist and the invisible script. This is the mask that manipulates without theater. No applause. No wounded monologues. No open cruelty. Just calm influence that feels like inevitability. The covert narcissist collapses you through implication, not demand. It feels like peace, but behaves like precision. You don't escape this narcissist through logic. You escape through identity reclaimed. They don't steal your peace. They make you donate it without noticing. Because their power is subtle, silent, polite, procedural, and personal. You don't fear their presence. You wake up one day realizing you fear your own absence inside it. Why this bond feels spiritual, not logical. Because the intensity had no vocabulary. The collapse had no witnesses. The confusion had no villain loud enough to point it, but your spirit wrote it down anyway. Pain that can't be explained outwardly is often felt inwardly as loss of self-recognition. The narcissist didn't arrive to fight you. They arrived to activate something waiting to wake inside you. We don't grow spiritually through peace alone. We grow through contrast. You met emotional contrast before emotional clarity, because clarity without awareness is useless. Clarity after awareness is awakening. The purpose was not the narcissist. It was the mirror break. The bond was never the point. The end of the pattern was. You were not placed here to reflect someone else forever. You were placed here to stop reflecting falsely. Sometimes the universe sends people to teach you not connection, but disidentification. Not what love gives, but what love never steals. Peace reclaimed is your proof. You don't destroy a narcissist's peace through revenge. You disturb it by becoming mentally whole again. By being emotionally unavailable as mirror. By no longer offering your emotional home as echo or service. By holding your heart like a sealed sanctuary, not an open application. By realizing, some attachment looks like love when you haven't restored yourself, and stops looking like love once you have. The narcissist doesn't fear your voice when it's loud. They fear your self-possession when it becomes calm. Because calm self-possession cannot be manipulated quickly. It cannot be mirrored back into a script of hierarchy. It cannot be guilt-tripped into caregiving. It cannot be hoovered back into emotional negotiation. It cannot be gaslit into self-doubt when your foundation becomes inner truth. It simply stands there as a presence they cannot edit. If this awakens something in you, hit like, subscribe. Share with someone who needs this reflection. Not for drama. For awakening. For peace. For your self-return to your own hands.